In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about everything you can do with the Fitbit Luxe. And I wanted to play a little prank on Val. That's 35,000 steps.
We were gonna see if we would beat you and how many steps we got. So how many steps did we get?
Quick settings, menus, starting exercises, and more so you can get the most out of using your fitness tracker up next. Hey everyone, my name is Jeff, and on this channel I do all sorts of different types of tech reviews, tutorials, and more, including Fitbit products. Today I want to talk to you guys about the Fitbit Luxe, and if you're interested, I've also done other reviews on other Fitbit products like the Versa 3, the Fitbit Sense, even the Charge 4, and you can check out all those videos. They'll be linked down in the description below. If there's a specific answer that you're looking for, you can also jump to any of the specific topics in this video by using the links down in the description below. But I hope you stick around for the entire video because that'll also give you a chance to find Tinker, our little hidden robot. So let's talk about all the fun things we can do with the Fitbit Luxe. So in taking a look at the Fitbit Luxe, there's no physical buttons. This is one of the unique trackers where you do everything from the main screen. So if you are just getting to using your Fitbit Luxe to wake it up, what you can do is double tap the screen. There we go. Sometimes it takes a couple of taps. This is also how you can get back to your main menu at any time. You can just double tap that screen. And you probably want to use this to track some sort of an exercise. Maybe you want to go for a walk. So we're going to double tap our screen to wake it up. And this particular screen we're looking at is called a clock face. And as I tap it, you'll notice the stats update on the bottom. So the date, we've got active zone minutes, the amount of steps I've gotten in for the day, as well as heart rate. So there are different clock faces that you can change, and I'll get into that coming up. But in the meantime, if you want to start some sort of a workout, what you can do is swipe to the left, and you'll see notifications that you've gotten, and then we get to exercise. And under exercise right now, if I want to just start a walk, I'm going to go ahead and tap on that, and it's looking for some sort of a GPS because this does not have built-in GPS, so you will need to have your phone with you if you want it to track your actual location. But then you can go ahead and just hit start. If we scroll up a little bit, we can also do settings like we can set a goal. Settings, heart rate zone notifications, you can turn those on or off. So it's going to give you a little notification as you're reaching different heart zone areas. And then if you want it to track your GPS, you can turn that on or off. In this case, so if I was going to set a goal, I can do zone minutes, distance. Let's do distance, and I'm going to set a distance goal here of let's do, it goes up to 4.5 miles. Let's do a mile. So then I'm going to tap that. And then I've set my goal. So now if I scroll back down, I can see start. I'm going to hit that to start my workout. So in this case, it's a walk. And it's telling me my distance. If I tap the screen, I can see pace. I can see pace average. I can see heart rate. I can see the amount of calories, steps, and then time. And then distance. So, and it's also timing my workout. Zone minutes, distance, pace, and now we're kind of back to where we were. So if I get to the point where I need to pause my workout, what I can do then is just scroll up, and I can go ahead and pause. Maybe I'm going to get a drink of water. I can then return to that workout, or what I can do is finish. So let's go ahead and finish the workout. It says nice work. It's going to tell me all the stats about my exercise. I can scroll down and see all that same information that we were flipping through while we were working out. And then when we're done, we can just hit done. Something else to mention. So with your exercises, you get 6 shortcut exercises. You'll see I've got walk, which is the exercise I was just showing as an example. If I scroll up, I have run, bike, swim, workout, and treadmill. And then it says if you want more, you can edit your exercise shortcuts in your Fitbit mobile app. And my wife and I, Val, actually did that in our unboxing and setup video, which will be linked down below if you want to see exactly how you can quickly edit your exercises, because there are more exercises available like tennis and other things that you can add to this list if you don't want these particular shortcuts in your exercise menu. So if you saw the last video I did with my wife where we did the unboxing and then the setup video of her Fitbit Luxe, since that point I asked her if I could borrow her Fitbit Luxe so that I could do a tip and trick video, which is this video right here. But in the meantime, I wanted to play a little prank on Val and see how many steps I could put on her Fitbit Luxe. What I figured out is that you can hack the system by taking your Fitbit device, and again, I wouldn't recommend this because you might damage the device, but I figured I'd take the chance. I'm going to actually take her Fitbit Luxe and put it in our dryer. I'm going to pad it with a bunch of my socks and then just see if I can run the dryer and see how many steps I really can get. And we'll come back later. So if you look, like normally I'm getting about 7, 15, 16, even 17 steps some days. I think my highest is probably this 25,000. I don't think I've ever gone beyond that. So let's see what she says when she finds out how many steps that we got today. So let's take the bands off. And I've got one of my socks, so we're going to put this inside. And again, I don't recommend doing this, but I'm just having a little fun. So it's all balled up. We've got 3 socks padding this Fitbit Luxe. So I'm here at the dryer. We're going to go ahead and pop this in. And let's go ahead and start it up. Again, I wouldn't recommend this, but this is what I'm doing. I actually set it to the air dry so that the heat doesn't do anything to the device. All right, let me see how many steps. 35,000 steps. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So let's talk about how to best charge your Fitbit Luxe. It should have come with a charging cable that's gonna look very similar to this. So one end has a USB port and the other end has this, which is a giant magnet. You'll notice, wow, it even holds the other end of this cable. And then there's 2 charging pins. If you flip the back of your Luxe over, you'll see these pins that are on the back, and you want to match those up so that it makes a nice secure connection on the back. And then the other end of this is going to get plugged into some sort of a USB port. This could go into a computer, it could go into a wall outlet such as this, and then we're going to go ahead and plug this in. Once you do that, you're going to notice that on the Luxe, we can now see a screen like this, which is letting us know that it is charging. It takes approximately 1 to 2 hours to fully charge your Fitbit Luxe, but after you've done that, you get up to a 5-day battery life, which is awesome in my opinion. So let's talk about customizing the bands for the Fitbit Luxe. In addition to the band that comes with this fitness tracker, there's a whole bunch of options that you can buy separately so that you can get just the look and feel that you're looking for your particular device, including the gold Gorillana wristband that is out and that's available on Fitbit's website, as well as you can look online. I'll have links down below to some of these bands so that you can take a look at them for yourself. But to switch these bands out, Fitbit has made it extremely easy with their quick release band system. There's 2 buttons, one for each side, that is going to be on the bottom of the tracker. And as an example, I'm going to switch out this band with the larger band that comes with the Fitbit. And essentially, when you turn this upside down, you get your finger right on that button to depress it. You push it towards the band, and then you slightly pull on the band itself. That unlocks it, and then you can pull it out. There's also the serial number, which you may not have known, on the inside for the tracker. And then you can do the same thing for releasing the other side. You just push on that button and pop that out, and then just be careful. But now you just have the little tracker by itself, which is pretty neat to look at. And then you pop in your new bands. So in this case, if I'm going for this larger band, I can just pop that in, you'll hear it click, and I can tug on it to make sure it's secure, and then I can just pop in the other side band. And switching out bands is just that simple. Now, if you're unsure of like the sizing of the bands, in the previous unboxing and setup video I did with my wife, we actually pulled out a ruler and tested it on her wrist, and she gave her thoughts on how it feels and all that. So you can check all of that out in that video. But switching out bands is pretty simple and very convenient on the Fitbit Luxe. So since there's no physical buttons on this device, in order to get around to all the different settings and apps and things like that, you have to swipe either left or right or up and down on the screen itself. I'm going to double tap it to wake it up. And at this point, let's go through seeing our stats. So if you scroll up from the bottom of the screen, it's going to show you everything, like the amount of battery that you have as far as charge, today's date, and then all this information, steps, the distance you've gone, active zone minutes, calories you've burned, hourly activity, heart rate, everything from your resting to, you know, your current heart rate, the amount of sleep that you got last night. It gives you a sleep score, your exercise goal, 3 of 4, and that's everything that's in this today area. Now, if I want to scroll back up, I can. Otherwise, if I want to return to my main screen, I can just double tap the screen. And that's one thing I've noticed about the Luxe. I don't know if it's my finger or if it's the responsiveness of the screen. Sometimes I have to do it twice in order to get things to work. But that's how you see all the stats on your device. And real quick, as we do in all the videos on this channel, we've hidden Tinker. He's our little hidden robot. He looks exactly like this guy right on my shirt. And he briefly pops up in all the videos on this channel. He's going to briefly pop up somewhere during this video. If you happen to spot him popping up, take note of the timestamp or the amount of time into this video that you spotted him popping up. Let me know that down in the comments section below. And if you're the first person to spot Tinker in this video, we'll put your name on our Tinker Forward Hall of Fame page, as well as give you a shout out in one of our future videos. So let's talk about customizing your Luxe, and you do that by going into the quick settings. I like customizing my device. You probably want to as well. There's some neat and nifty features in here. So to wake up the Luxe, I'm double tapping, and then to get to the quick settings, you can just pull down from the top of the screen. First setting we have is this D&D mode, which is the do not disturb mode, which I have it in right now so that I'm not getting all these text messages and emails popping up as I'm trying to show you what's happening on the Luxe. You can just tap that to turn that mode on and off. Other than that, if you're going to be going to sleep, you have a sleep mode that you can turn on. And sleep mode is going to do the same thing do not disturb mode does, but what's nice about the sleep mode is that it also dims your screen down at night, which I kind of like, so I don't have this bright screen staring at me in the face. It's going to mute all those reminders or your goals, celebrations, things like that at night. You also have your screen wake, which right now I have set to auto, and what that's going to do then is when you flip up the Luxe so that you look at the screen's going to come on automatically. If you don't like that or if you don't want that, you can just tap this, and now in manual mode, in order to wake up your screen, you're going to have to double tap it. So you have those options as well. And then you've got a water lock. So if you're, you know, this thing is waterproof, so you can take it in the shower with you, you can take it swimming. But water hitting this screen is going to make this screen respond to it, and it might take you into some settings or exercises or do some weird stuff that you don't want it to do. So you can turn this water lock on by tapping it, and it's going to tell me here to firmly double tap it to lock it. So you really do have to firmly double tap it. Now it's locked, so if I go in the shower, that water is not going to affect the screen. I'm going to have to double tap it again to unlock it, and you have to do it firmly. So it does take me a couple times, but now it's unlocked again so that I've got full control of the screen. Other than that, in this quick setting area, then it takes you into settings, which is even more in depth, and I'll get to that here shortly. Something else I want to mention about the sleep mode on your Fitbit Luxe is that if you go into the sleep area. So right now I'm in the Fitbit dashboard, and if I scroll down, I'll see here my amount of sleep. If I tap on that, I can see all my sleep information, but up top here is this little gear. If you click on that, you'll see all your sleep goals. Here's your target sleep schedule. So we've got bedtime, I can set a time, and I can set my wake up time. When you do that, that's automatically going to put your Luxe into sleep mode between those times. So it's something else that's kind of convenient and really easy to just set up for your Luxe. So let's take a look at how you can make your Fitbit Luxe look even cooler than it already does. I know it's got a really cool physical appearance, but you can also customize the clock face. So the time that you're seeing, the design of that clock face can be customized. You can do this by going into your Fitbit app, and then from this point clicking on your account button in the upper left, and then going down to the, we'll find the Luxe, clicking on Luxe. This brings me to the Luxe dashboard, which gives me full control and customization of the Fitbit Luxe. And you'll see right here we've got clock faces. So we can click on clock faces. This is going to bring up my current, here's a screenshot of what the clock face I currently have installed looks like. I can click on these dots in the upper right, and this tells me what the name of it is, as well as I can see more details about it. But if I want to change this clock face, I can go over to all clocks and look at that. I have all these different clock face designs to choose from. If I find a design I like, the Starlight looks pretty cool, I can tap on it and it's going to bring up that clock face, and then I can see here on the top screenshots of this clock face. And I'm noticing from these screenshots that it looks like the center stats change. My guess is as you tap the screen. I can also see more information about this clock face. If I want to install it, I can click on select, and I can see that it's installing it. My Luxe screen is also lighting up, and it's showing that it's installing. It's a fairly quick process, takes just a couple of seconds. Then we can see now it says update complete. And there it is. There is that clock face. As I tap the screen, I can see that it's changing those stats. So it's just that easy to change your clock faces. If I jump back to this all clocks, looking at all these different clock options, you know, there's probably about 20 different clock faces for you to choose from. And granted, the Luxe just was released, so my guess is in the future, over time, there's going to be more clock faces to choose from, but very easy and quick to find the look that you would like for your Fitbit Luxe. And if this video is helping you out, maybe you're learning something, or maybe you're just enjoying the sound of my voice, take a second right now, smash that like button. It helps out this video, it helps out this channel, and it lets me know that you care. So let's run through the apps to show you the different options that you have. If you scroll to the left, this is going to bring up first your notifications. And the Fitbit Luxe has a very small screen, so it's good for quick notifications in my opinion, text messages, emails. I could see there as I tap on notifications, or as you scroll up, you'll see these are some emails that I'm getting. I can actually tap into the email and it shows me probably the first paragraph. I mean, it's not great. It's great for getting just a real quick snapshot of what somebody's emailing you about. You have the option where you can delete it. You can open this full email right on your phone, which is kind of nice because you just click that and it takes you right to that email. Or you've got the option to clear. You can swipe to the right to kind of go back a menu. So now we're back to the overview of my latest emails, and I can keep scrolling through all those. If I scroll to the right again, this takes me back up to the main notifications area. You're also going to get notifications if you are getting some sort of a phone call, and I can show you an example of that. So here's an example of a phone call, and I've got the option to swipe up to decline it or swipe down to accept it. We're going to go ahead and dismiss this phone call. One other thing I want to mention about the notification, so if you get text messages You can actually reply to those text messages if you're on an Android device. If you check out the previous video I've done with my wife where we do the unboxing and the setup of the Luxe, in that video you'll see my wife and I sending text messages to each other. And on the Luxe, right from the screen, you've got the options where you can do quick replies. And I go more into detail in that video about the quick replies, but you can also use emojis to reply right from your screen. So that's very convenient and something else that is useful. Now, if you're pairing this device with an Apple phone, Apple unfortunately does not give you the option where you can reply to those text messages. They kind of block that option. But if you're using an Android device with your Fitbit Luxe, you should be able to respond to those text messages with no problem. So as we keep moving through the menus, you'll see that we come to the exercise, and I went through exercises before. We've also got this relax session, which is kind of cool. It gives you some breathing exercises that you can run through for a 2-minute session to help relax you during your day. You can also set alarms on the Fitbit Luxe, and in this case I was playing around with setting an alarm. You can just tap this area and then go ahead and tap the time that you want to set, and then from this point you can choose the hour, you can choose the minutes, you can choose AM or PM, and then you can choose whether to turn that alarm on or off. You can also have it go to repeat, and then you can choose just one time every day or certain days. So something I want to mention about setting alarms on the Fitbit Luxe. When you do set an alarm, there's no built-in speakers on the Fitbit Luxe, so you're not going to get an audible alarm. When the alarm goes off, it's simply going to vibrate the Fitbit Luxe just to notify you that that alarm is going off. So if you are working in some sort of an area where you don't want it to be an audible alarm, you don't have to worry about that. It's just going to vibrate your wrist when that alarm is going off. So here is an example of an alarm that I just quickly set. You can scroll down to snooze it, and it'll snooze it for 9 minutes, or if you would scroll up, it would actually end the alarm. And then after alarms, as we scroll over one more, we'll see timers, and this gives you the option to do a countdown timer, or you can do a stopwatch, and you can tap to start. It says ready, start, and then you can use your stopwatch. You can pause it, and then you can resume, or you can reset. So one of the great things about Fitbit is that you can also, once you're in the Fitbit ecosystem, you can challenge your friends or family members, other people that have Fitbit devices in step challenges and more. I've done a video on how you can start a challenge and invite your friends, and that'll also be linked down in the description below. So your Fitbit Luxe can also do sleep and stress tracking or stress management, and you can see a snapshot of your sleep through just swiping up, going into your stats on the Fitbit Luxe, and then as you scroll down you will see that you have a snapshot of your sleep. It'll also give you your sleep score from the night before. If you go into the Fitbit app, you can see more information. There's a whole stress management area, and this will actually track your stress from day to day based on how you are feeling. You can also do personal reflections. So I was able to go in and choose that today I was feeling neutral. It'll ask you how you're feeling, and you can choose from very calm all the way up to very stressed. And then over time you'll be able to see if you're becoming more stressed or if you're less stressed, and I suppose you can compare that with how you're actually feeling. You can also get all of this sleep tracking, so you can see what your sleep score is. Sleep score is just kind of the overall number Fitbit gives you as a snapshot of how well you slept the night before. You can see all this in your Fitbit dashboard under the Fitbit app, and you can see as far as how much time you were sleeping, how much of that was awake, REM, light, and deep sleep. And then if you click into the sleep score area, this goes into even more depth as far as giving you scores from your previous days. You can see the activity from this week, and then you can even click into each one of these days and it'll show you more information as to your time of sleep, deep REM sleep, restoration, just to give you more data on how you're sleeping. So I want to go just a little bit more in depth on exercise. So earlier in the video I was showing you how to quickly start an exercise, but if you're planning on using this to track your exercises, you probably want to go a little bit more in depth on customizing your exercises. If you go to your Fitbit dashboard, you'll see your exercise area, and then this is going to show you a record of any exercises that you have recently done. You can go into the settings under exercise, which is the little gear icon up there, and you can choose your weekly exercise goals. So I've got mine set to 4 days, but you can set it anywhere from 1 through 7. The other thing that's nice is if you're going to be doing exercises like walking or running, and you want it to auto-recognize those exercises, you can tap into those and then it'll auto-recognize if you're starting a walk if you have this checked. You can also turn this off, but then what's nice about that is that you don't actually have to go in to the watch and start an exercise. It's automatically going to do that for you based on that auto-recognition. Again, this doesn't have built-in GPS, so if you do want it to track your actual location, you'll need to have your phone with you, and then it will record that information. If we back out into the exercise area, again, I can see the different exercises that I've done. It'll record all sorts of information. I can then tap on it, and then I can see more specifics on that particular exercise that I did. It'll show me all sorts of information here, just so that you can kind of start to get a feel for what your heart rate was, your energy, and the impact that it's having day to day. So let's talk about the settings area, and let's explore some of the settings that you can customize by just scrolling down from the top of the screen. This is the quick settings that we talked about before, but now I want to go into the full gear settings. You have everything from display settings, where you can click on that and change your brightness from normal to maximum brightness or dim. You've got screen wake, just like in the quick settings, where you can set it from manual to auto. And you've got screen timeout. So screen timeout is the amount of time before your screen goes dark. Right now it's set to medium. We can set that to a higher setting, and it says increasing the screen time reduces battery life. I got it. But now we have the screen timeout set to long, which I kind of like because I like reading things a little bit longer on my screen. That's okay. I can sacrifice a little bit of the battery life for that. If we scroll to the right, this takes us up a level. We're back in that main setting area. We're going to go underneath the display settings to quiet modes. So quiet modes, this is also where you can put it in do not disturb, sleep mode. There's this exercise focus. So if you turn this on, if you're in the middle of exercising and you don't want to get those notifications, those text messages, because it's distracting to you, if you turn on exercise focus, that is going to eliminate all of those notifications until you're done with your exercise. Going back into the main settings, under quiet modes, we have heart rate. If you don't want it to show you that and track that, you can turn that off. Heart rate zone notifications. So the watch will notify you as you jump into different heart zone notifications. And there's more information on this on Fitbit's website or in the Fitbit app. But essentially, as you are going through an exercise and you are working harder and you're entering different heart zone areas, it's going to notify you of those by giving you different vibrations if you choose that you want that turned on. You can also have your vibrations on normal, or you can set that to strong. Under device info, this is going to give you all the information about your device. So we'll see system info, we'll see regulatory info, and clear user data. So clear user data is where you're going to reset your entire Fitbit. So if you ever get to the point where you want to maybe sell your Fitbit Luxe and you want to clear all the user data, this is the area that you're going to do that. And again, just to show you how to quickly get there, you go to Settings. Under Settings, you're going to scroll down until you get to this Device Info. And then under Device Info, you scroll down until you see Clear User Data. So once you tap on Clear User Data, it's going to tell you here that this clears all the data from your device, and any unsynced data will be lost. So if you maybe clicked on this accidentally, if you scroll down, you can cancel out. Otherwise, if you hold this button for 3 seconds, that is going to erase all the data from this Fitbit Luxe. So if you ever get to the point where you're finding your Fitbit Luxe might be doing something weird and you need to restart from this main menu in the settings area again, but I just want to show you the full path to get there. You can scroll down from the top of the screen, get to where it says Settings, click on Settings, and you're going to scroll all the way down. Right here is where it's going to say Restart Device. You can go ahead and click on that. It's going to say Restart Device. This will restart your device. No data is going to be lost. And you have the option to either restart or cancel. Let's actually just go through the restart so you can see. It does take a couple of seconds, but the screen is going to completely go black while the Fitbit Luxe is restarting. And then eventually we are going to see the Fitbit logo pop up on the screen, and it happens very quickly, but it is going through the whole restart process at this point. And now we've restarted the Fitbit Luxe. I can see my main screen. So in order to sync your Fitbit, you go into the Fitbit app on your device, and if you just pull down from the top of the screen, you'll see pull down to refresh. It'll also say syncing your Luxe. So it's actually going through that syncing process right now, and it says sync complete. That's going to sync all of your steps, all of your activity. So if you're noticing in the app, it's not the same steps as what you have on your Luxe. You probably need to just sync. Now, the other thing to note is that as you keep using your Fitbit Luxe over time, Fitbit is going to release updates, probably new cool features for the Fitbit Luxe, and you'll need to update the firmware on your Fitbit Luxe in order to take advantage of that. When an update is released, what you can do is from the dashboard, you'll actually see a little banner. Usually it's the color pink that's going to be right up top, and it'll say something like there's an update available for your fitness tracker. And as you click that pink banner, it'll walk you through the steps of updating your Fitbit Luxe. So if you happen to notice that there's an update available, be sure to update your Fitbit Luxe so that you can take advantage of all those features when they come out. I wanted to play a little prank on Val. That's 35,000 steps.
So Carter and I went for a run earlier, and it is the longest run that we have ever done. We took Dash, and normally I go like 3 miles with them, but we spent several hours today going for a run. So I used your Fitbit Luxe. I wanted you to see how many steps I got in. I want to know, first off, how many steps have you gotten for the day?
I can tell you the letter. I don't know. Why is it not telling me that? 7,000.
Okay, so we were gonna see if we would beat you and how many steps we got. So how many steps did we get?
35,000. Wow. Really?
So there you go. I wanted to show you that. I thought that.
Did anybody die?
No.
Please tell me Carter at least was on a bike.
It was a good run. No, he actually ran with me.
Are you serious?
It was just it probably took us a couple hours today to do that.
I don't believe you.
So some of the features that I would have liked to have seen them include on the Fitbit Luxe are things like the contactless payment option, where you can pay right from your watch if you go to like a Starbucks or another kiosk at a grocery store. That you cannot do on the Fitbit Luxe. You also cannot stream any type of music services, and if you are going for a run or a walk, this does not have the built-in GPS. You do have to have it connected to your phone. Those features that I just mentioned are available on the Fitbit Charge 4. So in addition to the Fitbit Luxe, if you're looking for another fitness tracker that has some extra features to it, it might be worth checking out the Charge 4, and I've done review videos and tutorial videos on the Charge 4, and you can find those linked below on this channel as well. I've also done a whole bunch of other smartwatch review videos, and those are all available on this channel. I do release weekly videos, and if there's any Fitbit updates or other upcoming products, those will also be released on this channel. So if you haven't yet subscribed, I invite you to take a second right now, hit that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell, and you won't miss any of my future videos. My name is Jeff. As always, I appreciate you watching. Be sure to make every day awesome, and I will see you in the next video.